and I'm Richard Noyes' best friend. Richard, as I hobbled up here, I knew there was one joke that only you and I would get. I was going to tell you this is my Willis Reed moment. See?
No one got it.
He knows what I'm talking about. Google it for everybody else. Okay, I'm a 65-year-old guy trying to look cool doing my speech off my phone. Eric, I think we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm John Nelson from Winnetka, Illinois. I'm here with my wife, Celia. I think she's getting me a drink because I missed out on the last two toasts. Forbes is one of my besties, and we are great and dear family friends of the Robertson Noyes clan. So close that we think we're actually in the clan. Okay, I think I can get through this without tears because I probably like the other people making the speeches, you cried a lot while you were making it, and then you'd stop, and then you'd go back and forth, and you'd smile. So it might be a little bit of that tonight. I'll try to speed it up. I know we're running late. We lost a great man last month. Normally November's a great month for us. For Forbes, his birthday. For me, my birthday. For Celia and I, our anniversary. My son and his wife's anniversary. But since Eric said shitty, I can say it again now. What a shitty month it was in November, all around. There was a lot of unacceptable things that happened for us in November, and literally and figuratively, this was just unacceptable for me. Forbes' passing, and it went way too fast. So this is pretty precious time. It's helping me accept the unacceptable because I'm trying to remember when I met Forbes, and it's actually a little bit difficult for me. I'll tell a quick little story that maybe no one knows, maybe somebody knows, but we had a thing in Wilmette, it may be in other places of the country. At the time it was called Indian Guides and Indian Princess. It was a YMCA program. Of course, has since been changed for DEI reasons, etc. And I have to be careful because my daughter's a Native American, and my daughter-in-law's a Native American, and I don't want to screw anything up here. But anyway, you create a tribe, and it's first grade through third grade, and so made a lot of friends through that. And I started with my son in Indian Guides. Our kids are 3 years apart, and then there was my daughter, Sarah, who's on their way here, and is one of Lindsay's besties. But anyway, I knew from my first 3 years experience, I became, the tribal chief or whatever. I knew that 12 people or 12 couples were the right amount for the group, Some of the groups were having like 20 people, and I knew cabins fit 12, and that was the ideal one. And one of the other members that I had of the 12 came up to me and said, "Hey, I've got this great guy that should join our tribe. His name's Forbes Robertson." And I said, "No way." And forgot about it. But he said, "He's a great guy, you should meet him sometime." And so anyway, we ended up meeting and through mutual friends. And I always felt guilty, and so I'm confessing here a little bit. I don't think that things would have been any different. But I always felt bad that I said no to Forbes. I had not met him yet. Had I met him, I think I would have said yes. Made an exception. Okay, all right. So anyway, we finally got together. We made up for our slow start very quickly, and we became fast friends as couples. Dinners, Christmas dinners, Thanksgiving dinners, concerts at Ravinia, trips to the wine country, trips to Vegas, a trip to Vegas where we saw the Beatles Love Show, and I played blackjack with Forbes. Trying to get money out of Forbes' pocket to play blackjack was a little difficult. He didn't learn very well, and more than once he asked me if there were any dollar tables. I said no. Again. And anyway, as I mentioned, even though I screwed up the Indian Princess thing, I'm so happy that our daughters became the best of friends, and we all became the best of friends. Celia and I used to refer to Pam and Forbes as the only real people on the North Shore of Chicago. So practical, so real, way different. So I'm going to repeat some things here that both Lindsay said and Eric said, but my next title is Forbes the Man, a tall and imposing man, but he projected warmth immediately with everybody. He never talked about himself too much. He always asked about you. How are you doing? He asked about you, not him, and he was very humble that way. So he was a friendly and kind man, a humble man, a loyal man, a smart man, a businessman, a neat and tidy man, a house and garden man, a poet, and a storyteller. Maria Miller is here. We were at a Christmas dinner one time with Greg and Maria. I just thought of this when I saw you, Maria. And Forbes went into this crazy story about how they used to catch these snipes in Scotland. And snap, and catching these different things. And it was this mesmerizing story. Of course, we were drinking, and I remember we got home that night, and I was like laughing because it was obviously this made-up story. And Greg called me like 20 minutes after we all got home. He called me, obviously he'd been on Google. He said, "There's no such thing as a snipe." So, yeah, anyway, Forbes got him pretty well. So he was also a damn good bartender. That's been brought up. I also wrote he's an honest man. But then I heard a story that he taught his kids how to shoplift. Is that a true story? Something about the Scottish sale, or?
Just he was in a rush a lot, and so like a self-checkout a couple times was like, "Let's go now."
It's a Scottish sale. We used to call it a 5-finger discount. I don't know what you guys are. So anyway, he was an honest man, though. And so I mentioned he was a very accomplished man. I think he was good at everything he wanted to be good at, quite frankly. And he was really kind of a Renaissance man. You know, he did everything. But I want to say his greatest accomplishment by far was his family. Great marriage with Pam, 2 beautiful and intelligent children in Lindsay and Maxwell, graduated, making lots of money now. Wait, so. I struck that out, sorry. It won't be long. And of course, you can't forget the dogs. The dogs were part of the family. Wes and Tay, whatever the new one is, I'm sorry.
Rue.
Sorry, yeah. Let's face it, sometimes they ate better meals than all of us. My last conversation with Forbes was precious. I actually looked it up on my phone. It was 36 minutes and 32 seconds. And I talked to Pam about it a little bit, and it was November 2nd, I think. And he had really, as Eric, you kind of mentioned, he really had kind of accepted his fate. And it was a great conversation with him. He's looking back and he said, you know, you do the best you can do, and talked about how proud he was of his family and the great things he did, and, you know, the bad deal that he got, but it was upbeat and positive in a grateful way. So I would say let's all follow that lead, shall we? To Pam, Lindsay, and Maxwell. We Nelsons are honored to have known Forbes, and we're grateful that we have a lifetime of memories with him and all of you. We will miss him fiercely. But let's all carry on the way he would have wanted us to. And I'm going to leave it with that. Can I make a toast to gin and tonic? Willis Reed hopping down the court. Here's to Forbes Robertson, the best of the best. Cheers.